It's Friday the 10th of February 2012. Welcome to today's United Kingdom talk. Well, no show yesterday because I had a rotten day Wednesday. What a blooming day it was. So, it starts off, okay? On Tuesday I told you all my... Did I tell you all my CB stuff has come? I didn't tell you that yet. Anyway, so that all came. And on the way back home from my new quiz night, which was on Tuesday, I've just started doing a brand new quiz night at the Mayflower pub, which is right on the River Thames in Rotherhithe in southeast London on Tuesday nights. I did my first one on Tuesday, and you know how it is when you go to a new job, anything new at all, you know, a little bit nervous, aren't you? Not quite sure how it's going to go. I got there bang on time, 8 o'clock I said I'd be there, bang on 8 o'clock I walked through the door, thinking, I hope there's enough people here. Well, this pub was packed. Absolutely packed, and I walked and I thought, oh my God. And it's a wonderful little pub with the emphasis on the word there, little. It's very small, you know. It's on 2 floors and very small. Upstairs is more of a sort of dining area, but you can eat wherever you are, really. There's a little bit of outside near the river as well. And I really haven't got much room to move at all. I've got like a little area of the bar, I suppose about 1.5 feet square, and that's my area. But as nerves would have it, you see, when you're doing anything like this, whether it's karaoke or singing or DJ, anything, you must not look like you're nervous. So I'm setting my stuff up. I'm thinking, oh my God, how am I going to cope with all these people? Because they don't know me and I don't know them. I don't know the bar stuff. I don't know anyone in there. But I managed to pull it off. I'm very pleased to say it went extremely well. I think the people there had a good time. We had a little bit of a laugh and a joke with them. I had the entire pub at one point singing the theme music to Home and Away. You and me belong together. You and I forever and ever. No matter where you are. You're a shining star. Shall I go on? And for the very first... Oh, forget it. Anyway, so we did all that. And, yeah, it was a really good night. So I'm so pleased that that went well, because I was quite nervous about it. Although not as nervous still about this Saturday night job, which I'm going to do. I'm going to do the DJing at the 2 Brewers in the club area on Saturday night this week. I was... humming and ahhing, to be honest, and I don't know why it is. I don't know why I've got so worked up about this particular job. I don't know why. And my best friend Ron, he says, "Why have you worked yourself up into this worry about this? It's just another job, just another job. You see." So I'm going to go in and do it, and that's Saturday night. I shall let you know how that goes. Anyway. So Wednesday, I had to take the car in again. I'll tell you why. The smell of fumes has gone. Now I'm getting a smell of white spirit coming in, which on further investigation of the smell, sort of when I went to fill up in the petrol station, you know, I fill up with diesel in my car, a little Toyota Aygo diesel, I thought, that's the smell coming in the car. So the smell coming in the car is not diesel fumes, but neat diesel now. It's the smell coming in the car. So I took the car in again on Wednesday morning. And the guy took it straight in. Fantastic there. Toyota, Octagon Toyota in, I'm not actually quite sure where they are. Bracknell, we'll call it Bracknell. They're quite close to here anyway. Or Binfield, possibly. And he took it in straight away, and then he came out. He says, "Yeah, we're going to have that in." He said, "I said, any idea?" He says, "Well, I lifted the bonnet, and immediately smoke came out, and he can smell it straight away. There's neat diesel coming in, and they don't advise you to drive it." Okay, so that's quite a serious thing, I suppose. Thinks there might be a cracked pipe or something like that, or maybe a seal hasn't gone on properly. Because I took the car in as a matter of urgency and not booked it in, there isn't a courtesy car standing by for me. So what happened, I said to the guy, I said, I really need a car for tonight. Can you help me at all with that? He said, Chris, I haven't got anything for you at the moment because they're all out and they're down one car because unfortunately someone had a crash in one of their courtesy cars on the Monday. So they're down one car and they're short of cars. He said, I'll give you a ring later. What happened is that probably we'll have to pick you up late in the afternoon and then take the car home. He said, but I will need it here. Back here tomorrow morning at 8:15 in the morning. Can you do that? God. So I'm getting to that in a minute, all right? Don't rush me. I'll get to that in a minute. So I said, okay. So I went home. Now, if you're a regular listener or viewer to the show, you will know I have a sleep in the afternoon, usually between 4 and 7 p.m., somewhere around there. So I'm hanging around and I'm sort of kind of hanging around the house. I'm not quite sure what to do, really. Because, you know, what do you do? You know, they might ring at any moment. I know you got the mobile, but you don't want to be out doing something and then they say, okay, we're coming to pick you up now. So I was kind of stuck in the house, although not immediately. So I came back to the house and I thought, well, I can do something for an hour or so just before they rang. And I decided to go down to the DIY place because, as I say, my CB equipment came on. Was it Tuesday, late Tuesday afternoon? Oh, it was the old story, wasn't it? So Tuesday, I waited in all day for my delivery. I got up sort of about 8:45, just in case the bell went. You know, got up 8:45. Eventually, the delivery arrives, you know, 4:15 in the afternoon. So I'd wasted an entire day, didn't go swimming, shopping or anything, just sitting in the house, wandering around the house, looking for things to do. Do you ever do that? I'm terrible. That's why I like to work all the time. I like to work every night, not for the money so much, but because I just get so bored. I get so bored at home. Anyway, so all this gear arrived, and some of it's in the living room now. I've kind of put the aerial together out in the garden. And I thought, well, I'll go. I know what I can do. I can put the aerial up. I'll put the aerial up. Now, a CB aerial is like an 18-foot long stick. Comes in 3 sections, you screw it together. The aerial I've bought, for those of you with CB, is an Antron 99. An Antron 99, you can have a look at it. Screw it all together. So that's all screwed together, and it's in the garden, and sort of just upright on another 6-foot pole, so it goes up quite far, and it's just sitting in the garden at the moment by the fence. Now, the aerial brackets arrived as well. Now, on my house, I've got a little bit of an overhang, you know, where the roof comes down and then it goes in and then there's the wall. So I need something to pull it out. So I got these brackets from the same places I bought the CD. Great big brackets, 2 of these. Okay, this is like an L-shaped bracket. Very metal. It comes with some bolts, right? The other one is similar to this, but it hasn't got the bit coming up the side. It's just like a straight thing to hold the aerial, stop it waving about. And the holes for the screws are quite large. I'm just looking at you through a hole for the screw. So you put that bit there. You put the flat bit, the bit that's like a T, upside down T, on the wall. I think you do it that way, is it? Yes, I'm sure you do it that way. So that goes on the wall. 1, 2, 3 screws required in that. So first of all, I cycled in the freezing. It was freezing on Wednesday. It was absolutely freezing on Wednesday. So first of all, I cycled down to Wickes, which is like a local DIY place, and looking at all their screws and their cables. Blimey, their cable was expensive in there. Oh, it was. It was like 15 quid for a piece of bloody wire. Why is it so dear for bits of wire? So I picked up some wire and looked around at the screws, and none of them were really big enough. All I could find was coach bolts. And I'm not too sure how you would go about putting coach bolts in a wall. And I'm not sure if they were the right thing to use anyway. So then I needed an earth spike. Now, an earth spike is a long piece of copper with a pointed end, and you bang it. You simply bang it into the ground, okay, and attach a bit of wire to the end, and attach the other bit of wire to the item that you want earthed, i.e., the bottom of the CB aerial that's going to be 20 foot up on the roof. You see, so they didn't have that. I said, "Have you got any earth spikes?" "Oh, don't know, mate. We got earth straight." Didn't know what the bloody hell I was talking about, did he? Absolutely clueless. 3 of them I asked in the end. So after realising I didn't have the right screws, and I actually put the cable back, and I thought, well, I don't think they can help me in here. So I went somewhere else. And round the corner from there is a place called Grant's Electrical, and they've got all sorts of light bulbs and fittings, and quite a large place. More of a place where you get served by someone. You know, there's a desk at the front. All these tradespeople go in there for their bits and pieces. There's a desk at the front, and behind them is like the massive warehouse, and you tell them what you want, and they go and get it. And I prefer that, don't you? I mean, those of you that are old enough to remember, supermarkets were like that once. They absolutely were. There would be a desk at the front, like a counter at the front. I used to say, right, can I have that tin of baked beans, please? Oh, and I'll have a pound of carrots from over there. And, oh yeah, one of those piece of jerk. Can I just have a slice of that cheese there? And they would slice it. And we wouldn't walk around and take things off the shelves. I mean, nothing could get nicked, you know. Nothing could get nicked. I do wonder sometimes, wouldn't it be cheaper to actually go back to that? Oh, you'd hate it, wouldn't you? You'd absolutely hate it if you had to go in. So, oh, can I have that? I mean, you'd be in there all day, wouldn't you? Can I have that box of soap powder, please? I do remember Sainsbury's in Peckham being like that when I was a little boy. Anyway, so into the electrical shop. Hello, old man came out. I say old, probably about 58, not too old, about 58, 60. Can I help you, mate? I said, yes, sir, this is what I want to do. And I showed him my bracket. I said, I've got a CB aerial to put up. I need some bolts there, an earth spike and some earth wire. So he says, okay, one thing at a time. And he got his pen and paper and wrote all these things down. He says, how much earth wire do you want? I says, oh, I better make it 10. I think I said 10 metres. I'm actually not sure if that's going to be long enough now. Oh, God's sake. Which reminds me, the aerial cable that came with the CB, guess what? It's not long enough, is it? Not long enough. So I've had to order another load of that now. Oh, dear. These things are sent to testers, aren't they? Nothing is easy, is it? When it comes to DIY, certainly from my point of view, nothing is easy. I find it extremely difficult to do anything that's DIY. Anyway. So back to Grant's Electrical, so the little old man, he went out and got a bit very nice and helpful in there, really helpful in there. Got this green earth cable, we bought that back, and an earth spike. Well, I haven't got it up here. Beautiful, actually, this earth spike. It's a long piece of copper. It's all shiny and nice, you know. As I say, you've got to bang that in the ground and attach a wire to it. So he bought that over and he said, right, let's have a look at your bracket. So he showed me. He said, right. He said, I think this is what you want. And he bought over these massive, it was like a bolt on a metal wall plug. I said, well, how does that work then? He says, well, you've got to bang that in the wall, and then, as you can see, and he showed me what happens when you screw the thing in. He said it won't do it now, but when you screw the thing in, the thing opens up in the wall, and then that will be as solid as anything. And I said, oh, I better have some drills as well. I said, for that. He said, oh, right, okay. So he comes over and brings these rather large drills over for this massive bolt thing that I was going to put in the wall. And he says, what sort of drill have you got? I said, well, I don't know. He says, nah. I said, I bet you haven't got the one for these. And there were a special thing on the end. I don't know what it is. I said, oh, right. And I'm scratching my head now. And he's saying, he says, you probably got just a normal DIY drill. He said, these ones would probably be all right for you. He said, I'm not sure. I says, he says, let's have a look at the, you know, the bolt. He picked up the bolt again. I said, oh no, that won't be big enough. Come out another. And we've got this really fat drill, you know, for walls. I said, and would I put that, you know, usually, I mean, I'm not a DIY person. I usually, because it's easier, drill the hole into the bit between the bricks. What's that called? Is it mortar? Into the mortar, because it always goes in easier there. That's what I've always, when I've put up hanging baskets and things like that, you know, perhaps if there's 3 screws, if I get 2 of them in fairly solid, I don't worry about the 3rd one, you know. I always seem to get 1 screw in there that immediately falls back out again for whatever reason, even on a raw plug. And I said, do I put them in there? He said, no, you've got to put those into the brickwork. He said, I said, will it not hold on the thing? He said, well, the way I look at it, the holes on your bracket are that big for a reason. They want a big bolt in there. He says, if you've got a 20-foot thing up there, once that wind goes, it will really pull it. He said, you really need to go into the brickwork. I said, all right. So he says, what do you want to do? I says, and I'm standing there thinking, I thought, and I said to him, I said, do you know what? I said, looking at the size of those bolts now, I said, I think I'm probably better to ring up my TV aerial man and ask him to come and put the pole up for me. He says, well, it's entirely up to you, sir. He says, of course, if you do that, it'll be up in half an hour. They've got all the tools. They know what they're doing. They will have done this 100 times before. It's just like a pole. And you might have seen yourself. Sometimes TV aerials have massive, great poles up, don't they? It would be a similar thing to putting that up, although the pole is a little bit heavier because it's a CB one. And I hummed and hawed, and he says, "Go on, what do you want to do, mate?" I said, "Do you know, I'm gonna ring up the TV aerial people." He said, "Yeah, that's fine, no problem at all." I said, "Sorry to waste your time." He said, "No, you haven't." He said, "You're taking the other stuff as well, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah, I'll have the earth spike and the wire, and I think that cost me about 13 quid. You know, very reasonable prices in there." And that was it. The next problem I had, because this earth spike is quite long, I thought, how am I going to get that back? Because it won't go in my bike bag, will it? So what I did is I jammed it underneath the bike on the back of the bag on the back of my bike, and along the crossbar, and sort of went along like that, being very careful not to stab my leg as I was going along in the very cold weather. So I got back here, and I actually set up a wire and the aerial and the CB, and do you know what? I left the CB on for an hour, not a soul anywhere, because I had problems switching. I had a little bit of a problem setting the channels on the CB, because you can choose European or UK or anything like that, and I had terrible problems doing that. Anyway, eventually I did it, but I'm not sure if there's a fault on there or not, because sorry to speak in sort of CB terms for people that don't know what the hell I'm talking about here, but the CB is attached to a power pack, right? When I turn the power pack off and leave it for a few minutes and turn it on, the CB seems to forget its settings, that it's set to that I'd reset it to UK channels, and then it loses the settings, and you have to set it again. So I'm not sure if there's something wrong with that or not. I've emailed the guy to see, and we'll see what happens if he comes back to me. If he thinks there's something wrong, I might have to send that back. Oh, Christ. It's just my luck in it. You know, whenever I buy something electrical, I always have to send it back once because there's something wrong with it. What's all that about, eh? They must wait. People must wait until I order something. They always send in the dodgy one. And that's it. Isn't it? So that was that. So that's the CB thing. Eventually, at night time, just before I had to leave for work, I did get an answer when I said 19 for a rig check, and someone come back, "Yes, mate, you're getting out." So I know it is working. It is actually working. So back to the car. Of course, Wednesday night, I do karaoke. Belushi's karaoke, Borough High Street, every Wednesday night, 10 till 2 o'clock. And I'm looking at this clock, and it got to 4 o'clock, and I thought, well, I better ring Toyota and see what's happening there. I said, "Hello, Carl." He always deals with me, very, very, very helpful. I said, "Did we get any news on that car?" He said, "Yep." He said, "You should get a phone call within the hour, and someone will come and pick you up, and then you can take a car away." I say, "Okay, thank you very much." So that's it. So there I am on the city now, and I'm tired now because it's my bedtime. You see, 4 o'clock in the afternoon is my bedtime. I'm really tired, and eventually I went and got the cat, and I laid down on the sofa, and with the cat next to me, and sort of closed my eyes for a while. But I can't sleep on sofas usually, you know. I mean, I've got to be in my bed. But if I was to go into bed, it would be even more difficult to get up when the phone rang. So that was that. Anyway, it got to 5:15, and I'm panicking now. It's not that I couldn't get someone else to do the job, because I can, but I hate doing it. I hate being sick or not turning up somewhere, or even having a holiday. I hate doing that when it comes to work. So I picked up the phone again back 5:15. I said, "I'm really, really sorry to trouble you," because I didn't want to become a pain in the arse. Do you know what I mean? Could you just hang on a second? I'll be with you in a second. Hello?
Hello, Chris. Paul here from the Mayflower.
Hello, Paul. All right, mate?
Yeah, sorry I didn't get to see you on Tuesday.
That's all right, mate. I gather you was a bit tired.
It went really well, though. So can we make it a regular thing?
That's brilliant. Okay, mate. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready then. Yeah, Tuesday's fine.
Brilliant. Cheers, Chris.
Yep, lovely. Glad you enjoyed it, Paul.
Thanks, mate. I'll see you next Tuesday.
Yep, thanks very much.
See you, buddy.
Bye-bye, mate. Bye. Hey, a bit of good news at last. That was the guy, that was the boss from the Mayflower where I did the quiz night on Tuesdays, and he said, yeah, we had a brilliant night. It's the first time I've spoke to him since I did the quiz. And and that's lifted my spirits, that has. My spirits have been lifted. Lift up the knoll to the Lord. Let us give thanks to the Lord our God. It is right to give him thanks and praise. It is. Oh. It was Paul from the Mayflower, he's the boss there, and he said they had a really good time, and can I do that every week as from now? So I got the job! Lovely! I'm pleased about that, because it was a good night. I had a really good time there. Anyway, back to the bad news. So, 5:15, I rang him. I said, really sorry. He said, no, you're all right, Chris. He said, it's all right, let's understand. They won't be much longer. They will be with you. They're on their way. Okay, thanks very much. So, about 20 to 6, okay, the phone rang. Hello, it's so-and-so. We're coming to pick you up now. Okay, lovely. Thank you very much. And they came round, picked me up, took me to the garage. I picked up the car, little Toyota IQ, and Carl was there. He said, don't forget, please get it back to me for 8:15. I said, Carl, I said, it'll be an effort, but I will be here. Because one thing I don't think I'm particularly fantastic at any of the jobs or this or anything that I do. I really don't. But I am reliable. You know, if you book me to do something, I will be there. Usually far too early. Okay, that's how I work. So took the car away, got back here, and now it's like 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, right? I am due to get up for work at 6:30, and I thought, I said, well, I'll have to lay down for a while and close my eyes and see what happens. And I did that. And of course, you know, the moment you close your eyes, the alarm clock goes off again. I gave myself an extra 15 minutes, actually. I thought I'll have another 15 minutes in bed, and I'll have less time in the home and just jump straight in the shower. So got up at 6:45, jumped straight in the shower, had a cup of tea, and straight out the door to do my karaoke night. And as it happens, Wednesday, fantastic karaoke night, really good night, very busy, nice people in there. Did anything fun? I don't think anything funny happened on Wednesday. Sometimes you get something really funny that happened. Oh, it was someone's birthday. It's funny, actually. Sometimes you do someone's birthday, and then all these other people come up and say, "Oh, it's my birthday." Like they think they're going to get a free bottle of wine or something like that. I've had, oh, that happens. Oh, it's my birthday. Can I have a free bottle of champagne? No, you can't. Piss off. Go and buy it yourself. Mr. Something for Nothing. That's right. It's the girls mainly, actually. The boys rarely ask for something for nothing, which is a shame, really, because they can have me for nothing, to be honest, but they don't ask. They don't ask. What's all that about, eh? Oh, dear. I don't know. So that was great, the karaoke night. Got back here. Eventually got into bed at 4 o'clock in the morning, right? I had to be up again at 7 o'clock in the morning to take the hire car back in because I promised. And do you know what? Actually, I got straight into bed, 4 o'clock, went off very quickly. And then before you know, that alarm clock was gone off again. I wasn't too bad. It wasn't one of those, oh, God, I'm so tired. You know, it wasn't really like that at all. And I got up out of bed. I went and had a cup of tea, took the car straight, and there was actually no traffic on the road at 8 o'clock in the morning. Had to put some petrol in the car first because you have to give it back with the same amount of petrol, roughly, that was in there before. I think I always end up putting too much. I put 15 quid in, you know, for one journey to and from London. I could have probably got away with a tenner. I know, but, well, you know, whatever. So I did that. Saw Carl in there. I said, morning, Carl. I said, it should be illegal for people to have to get up at this time in the morning. It really should. Usually my getting up time is about 9 in the morning, so I was 2 hours early, but there we are. On a Thursday morning, I generally get up about 9:30, 9:45, because of the late night before, but what can you do? I had to be up at 7. So, and I sat down there, and a man come and took me home again. in a very nice Toyota Prius or Prius, part electric, part petrol, beautiful car, very expensive, and it wouldn't go in a garage anyway. We do like to keep the car in a garage, although my garage at the moment is stinking of diesel because underneath where the car usually sits is a little pool of diesel on the floor, and it's rather smelly, and I need to perhaps put some sand on that and clean it out or whatever. Got back in here at about about 9:10, no, but just about 9 o'clock in the morning. And interestingly, the exact same road that I had travelled on freely at 8 o'clock was jammed, absolutely packed, going into Bracknell at about 8:45 when we were coming, of course, the other way away from it. So obviously, I've never been, you know, around the area at that time of the morning. So if I ever have to, then I shall remember that. Get on that road by 8 o'clock, otherwise you hit the traffic. Came back here, went to bed on back again Thursday about 9 o'clock in the morning. I think I got up again at about 10:30. And well, here I am now. You know, I've been done a bit of printing today because I've run out of karaoke request slips. So I've been printing away, and I also, you know, the problems went on and on. They really did on Wednesday because I've bought some of this stuff. Let me show you this. This stuff for my quiz nights. It's premium digital carbonless paper. Okay. Now this is supposed to be like carbon paper, right? It's like having two bits of paper with the carbon in between, except you don't have the carbon in between. And the way I understood it is that it comes, let me just get a bit out here now. Okay, there it is now. I'll just get a little bit as a demonstration for you. I think that's right. Now, if I get this the right way round this time. Right, so it comes as a white bit and a pink bit. And the way I understood it is that if you write on a bit of paper on top of the pink bit, it will come through, right? So what I did, this would be on the Wednesdays. Another thing that went wrong on the Wednesday, right? What I did is I got a piece of my normal paper, put it over the top of the pink, and I wrote on it, right? I wrote Chris. Put Chris like that. Chris on my bit of paper. Okay? And I thought, well, that'll come out on the pink bit. And I looked at the pink bit, nothing. And I thought, well, that can't be right. So then I thought, perhaps you have to write on the pink bit. And it will come through onto the white bit. So, once again, I wrote, what shall I write this time? What shall I write? Let's write Millie. Millie. Because she's my friend, Millie. So I wrote Millie on the pink bit. Looked at the bit underneath, nothing. And I thought, well, how on earth does this work then? Because there's like no instructions. It's one of those things where I suppose you're automatically assumed to know how it bloody well works. In the end, I rung up, first of all, I rung up the people that I'd bought it from, which was, I think, Stuff. Let me tell you what it is, because they were very cheap, actually. There we are, Stuff UK. Okay, what is it, stuffuk.com? Stuff UK Limited, where they sell paper and all that sort of office stuff, and it's quite cheap. So I rang her first. Spoke to this very, very, very helpful lady on the phone, don't know what she was, who unfortunately didn't have a clue. And me and her were just laughing. We went into this conversation, we're just laughing about the whole thing. You know, I bought this stuff, didn't even know how it worked. Eventually, I came up with the... she gave me the phone number of Xerox to ask them how it worked. And while I was ringing them, I got I got another piece of the paper, right, the pink paper, but this time I took a piece of white paper from the same packet. Okay? So, as I said to you, inside the packet, right, comes the paper. On the top, you've got a white bit, and underneath it, there's a pink bit. Okay? So I took a fresh piece of white paper from the packet. Now remember, the first time I'd used my own white paper. This time I took it from the packet and I wrote on there, UKT, on the white bit of paper, and guess what came through the other end? Look at that, UKT. So, so that was it. And that must have taken me an hour to sort out how to use this damn copy paper. So at last, so that's it. Because, and I wanted to use this stuff because what's been happening at the moment with the quiz nights, wherever I've been doing them, is I've been getting people to write the answers down twice, on the left and the right, and then I say to them, okay, tear it down the middle and give me one half, and you have to write everything down twice. So the idea is now they get this little thing here, which I'm making up with a bit of white on the front, which is the paper as supplied by Rank Xerox, and the pink one underneath. And as they write their answers down, it will come out on the back as well, so they won't have to write things down twice. Aren't I kind? At my expense as well, dear. You know, because some people, oh, why have we got to write it down twice? Just do it, dear. Just do it. And that's it. So that was my day yesterday. As I say, I had a good time. But Thursday, I was so tired, and here I am. It is actually, I know it's Friday for you, it is Thursday for me now. So here I am, what is it now? Just coming up to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. What time? And again, I'm working again tonight as well, you see, on a Thursday night. So we're going to have this whole rigmarole about trying to get a car again. Later on, and you know, the thing is, Octagon Toyota, they don't have to give you a car like this. You know, I've turned up with a car. You know, I've got a problem. Okay, you know, and they've been good enough. So I'm not going to complain at all. I'm very grateful for being ferried around for nothing. You know, they could say, oh well, you'll have to get a cab here. No, they send a man who comes and picks me up. Yeah, on the other hand, I'm a very good customer. I always go there for the servicing and all the bits and pieces, tyres and what have you. Well, I always go back to tyres after that incident at the end of last year, or was it beginning of this year, which I told you about on the shows. So it's a good thing. I just hope they're not going to like leave it today till like 5:30 in the afternoon or something like that, when I should be having my afternoon nap. Anyway. That's it for the show today. I'm sorry, there was quite a lot about me today, and I had loads more to tell you. I've got a little flurry of emails of rushed into my inbox, which is very nice of you, because I said all the emails had suddenly stopped. So thanks for sending those in, and I'll read those out over the next couple of shows. Okay, just one here quickly from Millie. Millie's been to see her dad, who's not very well. Good girl, Millie. And she's had trouble getting there and trouble getting back. She says she broke down on the way there. Well, this time, coming home, it says, "Hi Chris, I'm home, lovey." Millie's in Minnesota in the USA. "But would you believe it? We ran out of petrol on the motorway, so we were later than anticipated getting home yesterday." How do you run out of petrol? You should never let that go down like that, Millie. She said, "I'm sorry you had a rotten day too. I haven't had a chance to check my post books yet, but I will do later for my crisps." Because I did send her crisps earlier. So that's it from Millie in Minnesota. Thank you, Millie. Some more emails are coming. I'll read over on the next few shows. Sean, who I haven't heard from ages, Sean Riches, James, we got Jesse BT, American Cutie Pie, Ryan, all right, Ryan, young Chris Eccles, thank you. And I had some news stories as well here that I wanted to tell you about. Robert in Iceland, he's back again. Phil Huckley, hello Phil. And there were some other bits and pieces that I wanted to read you, but we've run out of time because I rabbited so on about the same my old sad lonely life. There we are. I'm going now. I'll see you on the next show, okay? My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Bye-bye.